Funding. Now, there are many ways to get funding. Okay, and of course, when you start up, the most common way is to get money from your parents, friends, or relatives. And it's not that easy to get seed funding in today's environment. So you need to, in a way, bootstrap. So you bootstrap to get your seed funding. And what you mean by bootstrapping is to bootstrap by providing services. Okay. And that is one source of funding to help you work on your project. Now, every entrepreneur feels that if you want to start something, you need to have fund, money. But in math, we advocate what we call effectual entrepreneurship. And effectual means that you have to figure out what you have on hand that you could do for you to start a business. How much money can you afford to do? Okay? How much money have you gathered from all your other resources and so on? And these tools is basically your starting point to start a business. So as you start the business, you have to start it first before you can even look for funding. So as you start the business, you start to build value. So your main focus in doing this business should be focusing on revenue. So as revenue continues to grow, you have more traction, investors or even grant funders will have more confidence in your business model. And that means business model validation. So once your business model is validated, all you need to do now is to look at funders who are looking for your kind of business. Now, not every funder are interested in your kind of business. So you need to do your own research. Okay? You need to understand the mind of the investor, of a venture capitalist. Remember one thing, they are actually investing in your company using other people's money. So they have a responsibility to provide a return on investment for their own investors. So this is how you need to understand the mindset of the venture capital. You have to use their money and build more money for them. So that's why we look at bigger valuation, at the potential of a company to be able to scale as fast as possible, so that these return on investment will be sufficient enough to actually satisfy the investors of this venture capital. Now there are many sources of funding that you can actually obtain. Now some will go for grants. So grant will be Creator Grant, which is the CIP 150 and CIP 500. So these are basically grants that help you to start off. But that does not mean that it's sufficient enough for you to grow the business. So you need to understand when you look for funds, you need to look at different stages of the business. Because different stages will require different kind of funding. And different investors invest in different stages of the business. So you also need to understand which stage an investor is willing to invest. So sometimes it is not viable for you to look at a venture capital funding when you are starting out. Because venture capital funding looks at something even more bigger. A validated business model, some market traction, and so on. So you need to look for angel investors. And there are many angel investors in Malaysia that does not show themselves. Okay? So this is where MAD comes in, because MAD has a list of a following of angel investors in its database. Angel investors, venture cap, private equity, an ecosystem that we have built over the years to help our entrepreneurs as they go along the different stages in their entrepreneurship journey.